So my sign...
Yeah, but your sign is in complete contradiction to it, saying that your business doesn't agree with this.
Okay, and what law is that breaking? Like, give it to me in the scientific terms again.
Well, it's a big one, so...
So go ahead.
Well, you know what? I got things to do, so I just need to charge you and then leave.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in London, Ontario. Well, folks, I'm with Heather Rulton. She is the owner of a shop here called Spirituality in You. And in addition to being an entrepreneur, she is also, at least in my view, a philanthropist. But it appears in London, Ontario, no good deed goes unpunished. Heather now has the force of the state on her for putting a sign in her window. Just will you hear this story, folks. Well, Heather, thank you so much for making time for me today. And as they say, it's not business as usual anymore for you. First of all, when it comes to your business, what exactly is Spirituality in You all about?
Well, we are a center that invites everyone in. As you can see, we sell products, but our biggest passion is our workshops, our classes, our consultations. We do a lot of work with the community that is spending a lot of their time on the street. We work with addictions, trauma, crisis, homelessness, mental health, and no one's turned away here.
Right, and this has been just a horrible year going back to March when we had the stage 1 lockdowns all over Canada, all over the world for that matter. But slowly the economy in certain parts has started to reopen, and part of that was having businesses mandate a mandatory mask rule. And this is where you got into trouble with the local authorities. In addition to posting the city mandated sign that masks are mandatory, you also put another sign in your window. What did that sign say, Heather?
It said, no masks, no worries. We don't ask questions because it's none of our business.
And indeed, we do know, we've had our lawyers go through so many municipalities' bylaws. And indeed, if you have, say, a medical issue, you are exempt from wearing a mask.
They're saying it's because it's in contradiction of the sign that they gave us to put up, the mandatory mask sign. They're saying it's contradicting. They're saying it's bigger than their sign is. So we're still kind of waiting on what's actually legally wrong with it. We wanted to put in very simple terms, because of who some of our clients are, that if they are to come here and they cannot wear a mask, that they won't be turned away and we won't discriminate. And the fact that we are carrying their mandatory mask sign as well, we're doing nothing wrong. We're doing nothing wrong. And we're doing a lot to help our community right now. We've been doing a lot to help our community right now. And we step in a lot of areas that the government is not stepping up in for years. And now that they have canceled a lot of the programs with these vulnerable people and the increase in mental health and addictions and suicide right now, I'm going to keep the sign up so our clients know that they can come here to get help.
And there are so many people indeed in help these days with this terrible pandemic. But Heather, bylaw, I guess, paid a visit, and they didn't just give you a slap on the wrist about your naughty little homemade sign in their eyes. What did they give you?
They gave me, after 7 visits in the last 8 weeks, they ultimately handed us an $880 fine last Friday. They did give us a warning the Tuesday prior, saying we had till the next day to take the sign down, which we did not, and they were back Friday to give us the fine.
So my sign...
Yeah, but your sign is in complete contradiction to it, saying that your business doesn't agree with this.
Okay, and what law is that breaking? Like, give it to me in the scientific terms again.
Well, it's a big one, so...
So go ahead.
Well, you know what? I got things to do, so I just need to charge you and then leave.
It's sad. You guys have been here, and you see people wear masks, and you see that we have the social distancing.
It doesn't take very much to take the sign down.
We give away free masks here. We're not even anti-mask. Like,
it's just a simple sign. You could even reword the sign and then put it back up and say, if you have a medical exemption, that's okay. But the way that you have your sign, it's in complete contradiction to the actual sign. So That's what it is. Okay. All right. Thank you. Have a great day, and hopefully we don't see you again.
So $880 just because you have a sign in addition to the official city sign. And I believe, I mean, first of all, I think that's outrageous. Secondly, I believe you told me off camera, this might not be the end of it as you're waiting to fight this fine. They told you, I believe, that in theory, they could come back every day and fine you $880 every day. Is that so?
Yes. So they made it very clear to us that they could come out every single day while our sign is up, and they would send us or give us another $880 fine. And they also informed us that we would have to fight each one of them individually in court.
Well, you're also
Definitely
harassing
going to
me.
check. It's
So
not harassment.
it is.
No, it's not
When
harassment.
you've been out 7 times and I prove in court that I have not broken the law, you've harassed me.
How have you
7
proved this in
times.
court? You've been charged with this before?
When I prove this
Oh, when
in
you prove
court,
it. Yeah, okay.
will 7 times you guys not coming out be harassing me?
No, because we told you that you need to take the sign down.
And then if the
You
judge
are-
says no, she doesn't, then you came out 7 times.
Well, you'll have to go to trial for each individual one, so one of them.
Now, I do understand you have legal representation. Otherwise, you would be an ideal candidate for one of our pet projects, which is Fight the Fines, in which we crowdfund the legal fees for people. So thankfully, you have a lawyer working pro bono, I understand. They are taking up your case. They were, I think, in the near future, they're going to be having a press conference, or at least send out a press release about your case. What has been the reaction you've received from the general public? Do you get a lot of people feeling empathy and sympathy for you, Heather, or do you get the other response? Why isn't this person following lockstep with all the rules everybody else is supposed to be following?
We've gotten 99.9%, nothing but love,
Wow.
support. Everyone is sending out encouragement and asking me to keep moving forward with this. The 1% that isn't happy about what I'm doing needs to understand that we are following all the protocols. We have the mandatory masks. We were making masks back in March when the nurses and the PSWs were scared. We were giving them away for free. We have our hand sanitizers. We do the social distancing. I've canceled all of my workshops and classes right now because we're limited through space, which has really affected the community as well. So we're doing everything to the T, to the best of my ability.
And Heather, in addition to affecting the community with all these canceled classes because of social distancing and whatnot, I imagine this is really hurting your bottom line too.
It is. It is in a lot of different ways. It's been interesting the last week. Once we put this story out here a little bit, we've had a lot of new clients coming in, which is very encouraging. It's very encouraging.
I guess if you have a government job, if you're in the public sector, it is business as usual. But for people like you in retail, in the gym industry, in the food service industry, not only are sales dramatically plummeting, but you also have to worry about bylaw and law enforcement dropping by to hammer you with a ticket. It just doesn't seem fair to me. It doesn't seem right.
So I need your driver's license.
No.
Or you need to get her down. I would rather charge the owner.
Okay.
So if you can do that, but someone's getting charged. So
This is not my store.
you are in care control of it. You can go and take that down right now, and make sure it doesn't come back up.
Well, that's not my responsibility. It's
Okay,
the
so
owner
you
of
are
the
in care
store.
and control of the store.
Again, I can't do
I do
that.
have to warn you that if you don't comply,
Mm-hmm.
it does state under the act that you must provide identification. If you don't, then you can be charged with obstruction, which is a $1,000 charge.
Well, I'm going to have to ask you to come back.
No, I can't come back. I've been told a charge will be late today, so.
It's just stress upon more stress upon more stress. And I mean, we could understand back in the spring, the 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That made a lot of sense as precaution, but we're 8-9 months into this now, and the dangers aren't there that we were worried about back in March, and it's pretty obvious at this point. So we need to get back to some normalcy, because there's more people dying because of the effects of the pandemic than they're actually dying from COVID.
Are you able to sustain this kind of assault?
Well, we are going to do our best. I'm prepared for anything. I really am. I've got plan A to Z. So, absolute worst case scenario, if we were to have to close, I'm not going anywhere. You'll just see me in a different capacity, and we'll figure something else out. I don't know for sure, because we're not exactly sure what's coming next and what the next 6 months are going to bring us, whether there's going to be more lockdowns or not. So we're kind of in limbo. We're not sure, but 100% my goal is to be here. And I've been through some pretty crazy things and still sticking around. So my plan is to get through this too.
Hey folks, if you like us bringing you the other side of the story, please go to journalistdefensefund.com, make a donation so that we can pay our bodyguards and our lawyers to continue bringing the journalism you've grown accustomed to.